The leading cause of death for men and women remain cardiovascular disease, accounting for over 50% of all deaths in women as well as men.
It's a startling statistic that most of us are surprised to hear. Why are so many women dying from heart disease? Could it be that in the whirl of errands and family obligations, not to mention holding down a job, we get too busy and forget to listen to our own bodies? It is easy to get out of touch with ourselves and miss even obvious signs that our hearts may be at risk. Here in Northwest Arkansas, women of all ages are joining together to talk about heart disease and encourage other women to take charge of their health, which includes visiting the doctor to ask some very important questions.
First and foremost, they should say, what is my blood pressure? Ideal blood pressure for men and women is now felt to be under 120/70. You should know your cholesterol numbers, know both your total cholesterol and the bad and the good cholesterol.
What can you do? Stop smoking, choose a heart-healthy diet, exercise daily, and finally, limit your alcohol. Drinking too much can raise blood pressure and lead to heart failure or stroke. When it comes to saving your heart, the use of CPR and AEDs are also crucial. Just ask Betsy Phillips, who almost lost her son 23 years ago on a high school football field.
I can remember the day and the date very easily because it was my sister's birthday, November the 7th, 1986. And we were playing Fayetteville. And Fayetteville was our biggest rival.
Late in the third quarter, Springdale's All-America defensive tackle Mackenzie Phillips slipped to the turf.
Mackenzie just didn't get up after that play. And one of my friends said, I think that's Mackenzie. And I said, I know it is. And so I said a little prayer real quick. And then I hopped up and I went over the fence. When I got over there, he just wasn't breathing.
For the next 25 minutes, the crowd watched helplessly while paramedics administered CPR and electroshock with Mackenzie's parents at his side. Mackenzie had suffered cardiac arrest.
Couldn't imagine anyone that young going into cardiac arrest. I just couldn't imagine what would bring something like that on.
For Mackenzie, it was asthma.
When he couldn't breathe because of the asthma, that caused him to go into cardiac arrest. And his heart just stopped.
Through it all, Betsy remained extraordinarily calm and hopeful on the field next to her son.
I was talking to Mackenzie, and I was telling him to come on, just breathe. I knew he was going to be all right. I told Lloyd on the field he was going to be all right. I knew for sure he was going to be all right. Now, all right, to what degree? To a mother, just to have him. You know, I didn't qualify anything. I just knew he was going to be all right for me.
Mackenzie was rushed to the emergency room where doctors, including cardiologist Dr. Joel Carver, worked fervently to get a pulse.
Mackenzie was hooked up to a wall full of apparatus. And Dr. Carver said, we're going to try this one more thing. And I was just in there with Mackenzie and Dr. Carver. And when he did it, he got a little flutter and he started getting a heartbeat. And it was just really, but I didn't expect that he wouldn't get a heartbeat. I never thought Mackenzie was going to die.
The next day, Mackenzie was talking to his mother. He went on to make a full recovery, and 5 years later,
but with what he's already endured,
became a senior lineman at the University of Arkansas.
I'm absolutely positive that had they not had the AED that night, I wouldn't have a daughter-in-law or 2 grandchildren. I'm just sure Mackenzie wouldn't be here.
Today, national health groups and government leaders, including Arkansas's own Senator Blanche Lincoln, are urging Congress to pass federal legislation like the Heart for Women Act.
This bill is designed to improve the prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of heart disease and stroke in women.
Your involvement can help save the lives of mothers, sisters, aunts, daughters, best friends, and other women just like you.
Without women to lead this effort, it's not going to have the same impact. Without the American Heart Association, I think my life would have been very different. I hope that you will pay attention and make this effort for your family and your community.